This is my 1980s Univega super good deal that I found on Marketplace. I got this bike for 30 bucks. You really can't beat it. Univega isn't really known as a top of the line brand, but back in the day, back in the 80s, this had to be a pretty decent bike. It's got a chromoly triple butted steel frame, and that's what I was looking for. I wanted a steel frame bike that was old school, had these old school lines on it, this old school fork. It is a super nice bike for the price. You can't beat it, $30. I'm planning on taking this Univega and transforming it into a gravel grinder. I have looked at this bike over and over and over the last couple of weeks, and I've got a lot of work to do, but all in all, this is gonna be a great bike to work with. It's got some weird features that they had from back in the 80s, like 27-inch wheels, which are 8 millimeters bigger than the 700C wheels or 29er wheels. All right, let's go over some of the cool features that I really like about this bike already. I talked about the chromoly triple butted steel frame, which is a frame that just basically can last forever. These steel frame bikes, you can pick them up for so cheap, and if you're willing to clean them up, repaint them, re-logo them, you can have yourself a really solid, good-looking bike that is gonna last for a really long time. One of the things that I really thought was really cool on this bike is this signature crank. I'm hoping to be able to salvage this and keep this on the bike, maybe do some polishing, clean it up really, really well. The chain, it has definitely been left outside. So whenever I get into this bike, I'm gonna have to really check and make sure that there is no rust on the inside of the actual frame itself, because this thing was obviously left outside at some point in time. It has Shimano brake hoods, Shimano brakes, Shimano rear derailleur and front derailleur, and also Shimano shifters. This particular one was really interesting to me. I've never really used a friction shifter before, but this is also an SIS shifter. So this little deal right here can turn, make it a friction shifter, turn forward, and it makes it an SIS shifter. So it'll actually be indexed to the 6 speeds in the back. I'm not really sure exactly how detailed I want to get on this bike, but I do know this. I'm going to fully strip the frame down. I'm going to sand it, get it nice and smooth, remove all the logos, except for some of them. Like, I love this logo, this chromoly triple butted logo. I would love to recreate these logos here and put a really nice paint job on it. So I'm gonna go a little bit further on the paint job than what I did on my last build with the Huffy Restore. I'm going to paint the entire frame. I'm hoping to be able to do a multicolor paint, similar to what I did on the fork with the Huffy, but we'll just have to see. I've got so many ideas. I need to start shopping and finding parts for this, doing some measurements, but the first thing that I need to do is I need to strip this whole thing down, take an inventory of everything, and then start sanding the frame and get painting. So I hope you guys enjoy this journey that I'm getting ready to go on with the Univega, and I believe it's called the Nuovo Sport, and this one was made sometime in the mid 80s. So let's go ahead and let's start stripping off all the parts and get it down to just the bare frame and see exactly how much work we have to do to get this frame smoothed out and ready to paint. Let's get to it.
got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feels bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die.
And there we go. It is completely tore down and ready for prepping for paint. This was actually a pretty easy teardown. I'm really surprised with how old this bike is that it was actually able to be taken apart without any real problems. I did have a little bit of issue with the bottom bracket, but with a little bit of working with it, I was able to get it out of there. The headset and everything came out just fine. Nothing was seized, everything seems fine. There's only a few spots on the frame that appear to have some minor rust possibly, but once I get this sanded and smoothed out, ready for primer, you won't even be able to tell once this thing gets brand new paint. I am going to try to use a different brand of paint on this than what I did on the Huffy rebuild. I stepped up my game and I purchased Montana Cans spray paint. So we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to be a really high-end, high-quality paint. I'm really hoping it does really well. My ultimate goal is to make this kind of a two-toned blue with some orange accents. And yeah, that should be really fun. Different type of painting experience, different brand of paint. See whether the higher end paint actually makes that big of a difference. From everything that I've seen online and read, this Montana paint is actually pretty awesome. I believe it's actually Montana Gold is the brand or the line of paint in the Montana brand, something like that. But I got two types of blue coming, an orangish color coming, and then I've got a metal primer. So in the next video, what I plan on doing is roughing this up, getting these decals off, and just roughing the paint up, not fully stripping it, but really taking care of the areas that need to be taken care of, getting it completely cleaned, ready for primer. But this teardown was a success. I had a few issues with the wheels that I didn't do any recording on. The back axle was actually broken, so I had to order a brand new axle, which that should be coming in the next day or so. And as you guys saw, whenever I took the fork out, the headset bearings were completely shot on the front or on the upper bearing portion where the quill stem actually went in. Every bearing fell out, went all over the floor. So I ordered some more bearings so I can replace the top and bottom bearings in the headset. So that should give me a nice smooth headset whenever I get this thing put all back together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a really fun project. I'm putting a little bit more time, a little bit more money into this particular build. This is one of those bikes that I'm not really sure, once I get it complete, am I gonna keep it or am I going to try to sell it? At this point, I'm not really sure. If you guys like these videos, hit that like button, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this restored. Have you ever heard of this brand, Univega? It's kind of been around for a long time. They've gone through some different transitions. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna have a lot of these type of videos, product reviews, and also backyard trail builds and some POV mountain biking as we get closer to the summer mountain biking, spring mountain biking season. So with that said, as always, get out there, run, bike, build, and just have fun. And we'll see you in the next one. You're gonna change, Univega. You're gonna change.